Right now is probably the most expensive time ever to be doing tillage when you look at fuel, the price of iron, and labor. So I think lots of guys are probably thinking about zero till, and I thought I'd give a few strategies for the Edmonton, Alberta area in making that transition. First is you need to match your header to your chopper on the back. If you can't spread 40 feet, you cannot have a 40-foot header, or you'll never get out of that tillage trap. You can see here, this is 130 bushel barley, and it's spread even. That's really important. The second thing I suggest is break your farm into quarters. So a quarter of your farm would be switching over to zero till, and then seed that quarter last. That way it has more time to dry out, and then as that matures into the zero till system and you start to get some of the benefits, it gets seeded earlier and earlier, and the newest set gets seeded later and later. That way you don't end up with wet fields and mudding it in. Just out looking at our cover crop we seeded, mostly volunteer winter wheat from the hail, but we do have a few frozen radishes now and some clover. So this is the first year we're trying it, trying to establish clover after a winter wheat crop, and we'll seed our canola right into it next year. Then whatever you are going to spend on tillage, spend it on fertilizer, because without the tillage you're not mineralizing out as quickly, so you're going to get a yield drag until your zero till system gets going. Once you get through the 4 years, you won't need that fertilizer anymore, and you can go back to a more natural or more of your normal fertilizer program. And finally, don't leave your stubble more than 3/4 of the spacing between your shanks if you're using a shank machine to seed with. That's how you'll get lots of bridging with heavy residue and then those long stalks. There's lots of money to be saved transitioning from conventional tillage farming to zero till farming. Let's make that transition successful.